For many kids, online gaming is a source of fun. And on many of those games, they're connecting with countless strangers. Wait, who's this?
It's Billy.
But there's no way to know if Billy is another kid or an adult predator, taking aim at manipulating, abusing, or luring your child away.
Never in a million years thought that she would have been somebody that would happen to.
We're concealing this Virginia dad's identity to protect his daughters. He told us his teenage child was an avid gamer who went missing for weeks. She was lured several states away by a grown man she met over an online game.
We couldn't believe it, that she was able to be basically groomed the way she was.
The man who groomed and abused the child is now serving 30 years in prison for production of child sexual abuse material.
We'll stop at nothing to find a missing child and bring justice to those who are involved.
The FBI helped bring that Virginia girl home safely, but the Norfolk Assistant Special Agent in charge says she is far from the last child a predator will target through an online game.
We know it's going on, and unfortunately, it's happening more and more.
Online enticement is, in fact, a phenomenon that we have seen and grapple with in our missing child cases.
Limi Kong Sofer is with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. She points to their research that indicates gaming sites are the third most used by adults to speak with children online, behind social media sites and messenger apps.
There are adults on these platforms who are there specifically to meet children.
Why do predators use that to target children?
Why do robbers rob the bank? Because that's where the money is. That's where the children are.
That's Lisa Plagmeyer with the National Cybersecurity Alliance.
Military people would call it PSYOPs, psychological operations. They're looking for victims that are emotionally vulnerable. Show me a middle schooler that isn't emotionally vulnerable.
They're figuring out, am I valuable to other people? Am I handsome? Am I beautiful?
LaShonda Carson is a social worker and program director at Samaritan House. It's a nonprofit that helps people free themselves from domestic and sexual violence, human trafficking, and homelessness. She says unchecked and unlimited time gaming can put your child in a predator's crosshairs.
There's potential for someone else having access to your child all night.
Wow.
Folks that are exploiting children on gaming systems or online, they use the same exploitive measures of any other predator.
Carson says predators will try to gain the child's trust through conversations on the game and eventually move the communication to phones or messaging apps.
When there's changes in their demeanor, when they're more withdrawn, they're staying on their gaming system all morning, all night, sometimes overnight, not sleeping, increased anxiety, increased depression. Something's happening with that child.
Carson encourages parents to engage in the games with their child, to bond, and to be on the lookout for any odd communication.
Should parents ask, hey, can you show me how the game works?
Absolutely. While they're gaming, you're doing your work in the background or listening in on some of the conversations.
Plagmeyer agrees.
Maybe not with headphones. Maybe you want to be able to hear some of those conversations that are going on.
Plagmeyer says parents should make sure the game's parental controls are turned on.
I think their safety is far more important than that privacy.
A lesson one Virginia dad, grateful to have his daughter back, learned.
Check every device. Kids are going to hate you, but you got to do it for their safety.
According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children cyber tip line, reports of online enticement of children increased by more than 300% in the last few years, with about 190,000 reports in 2023. The Samaritan House program director tells me it is important for parents to keep an open, empathetic line of communication with their children, so when they tell their parents something has happened to them, they don't fear that they'll be punished. We have ways you can report cyber crimes against children inside this story at WTKR.com. Jessica Larche, News 3.